Okay.
the video. Okay, so this is the question that came from Hunter. I have been told that you do not drink coffee and you never drank coffee.
Uh,
So, what? How did you survive without coffee? Because I'm sure lots of people think that's an amazing feat.
that's not true. It's not true. Actually, I do drink coffee.
Okay.
There was a time when I was in Clarksville as a journalist. There was a time my coffee intake was 40 cups a day. And in fact, my editor at that point, he wrote a column about me, and he named me the caffeine kid. He said, I think the lead of the column was, nobody drinks more coffee than Tim Ghianni. I was starting out with a pot of coffee in the morning before I left my home. And then once I got to my home, my apartment, then when I got to work, we would drink coffee at work. And then we would, every time in between editions, we would take coffee breaks. And we'd walk down to this it was a little meat and three joint that was in the lower floor of a hotel, kind of a hotel for lovable losers. It was kind of used to be a really nice hotel, but now it was kind of a flop joint. But they had a really nice woman who ran a coffee shop downstairs. And so we would all go there, not just me, but my friends would go with me. But I would be leading, I would just be draining the coffee. And my boss kind of started keeping track of how much I drank. And it really came out to be an average of 40 cups a day. So no, I do drink coffee. I don't drink much anymore. I drink a pot a day, which to some people that's probably a lot, but to me that's not much. I drink that in the morning. I love coffee, and I don't like decaf coffee, so I used to drink coffee all the way into the evening when I was drinking my 40 cups a day, but now I don't. I went to actually as much as possible decaffeinated sodas when I can find them. I just decided I had too much caffeine. But when I was operating on 3 and 4 and 5 hours of sleep and working 7 days a week, which I did in Clarksville most of the time, and getting off work at 2 o'clock in the morning when the paper came off the press, coffee was pretty much what you survived on. It wasn't necessarily a great thing, but it was also the day when most journalists not just drank coffee, most journalists smoked cigarettes. And so, I mean, that was pretty much when, in those days, that's what journalists did. We drank coffee and, well, drank other beverages also, but drank coffee and smoked cigarettes. And again, I smoked to excess too, but I stopped smoking probably 12 years ago. Both my children, as I said, are adopted from Romania. My daughter, who's now 18, I think she was probably about 7 or 8, because my son who's 16 now, he was there. He lived with us then too. He was adopted 3 years after we adopted her. But she would watch me out the window. I never smoked in my house, even when I was a heavy smoker. And I lived by myself. I never smoked indoors. I always went outside because I didn't like the stink. And so my daughter would knock on the window and yell out, "Daddy, you need to stop. You need to put away those fire sticks." And then I would come in. She'd say, "I'm afraid you're going to die, Daddy." And so it made sense to me. So I quit smoking, which was good. That was a long time ago. I did, but when I was a heavy smoker. Most journalists, when I started smoking, most journalists smoked a lot, but probably nobody more than me. Like nobody drank more coffee than me. That's probably not good for Lipscomb. I don't know, but and I don't miss the smokes.